Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Rental Store. Thank you for joining us on episode 361 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor. How's it going, Trevor?
Hey, welcome to take two.
They don't know that we have to
start it. Well, no, okay. I'm going to start it right off the bat. Okay, we tried to do this and there were some technical issues. I think we got about like 10 minutes into it and we had to stop. But if you're interested, I think we're going to try and put up that first bit of conversation on the Discord. So, for those of you, that
we can
are
actually
on the
throw it
Discord.
in the Patreon. We can put it in the Patreon, actually.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. There you
because
go.
that way people that don't use Discord, but that are patrons can hear it.
Perfect.
But, I mean, it really just features Trevor rambling about an old movie. So
yeah. We were going down a bit of a rabbit hole about just like talking about off-topic things, and all I was saying was how I feel uncomfortable bringing stuff up because I feel like I know very like niche things sometimes, and my wife has called me out on that before. But you can hear that whole ramble on the Patreon if you're interested.
And take one. What I was starting to talk about is that I'm busy all the time, right? And I've been especially busy lately, and I haven't been on the Discord as much as I would like, and which is unfortunate because I do want to be in the Discord. It's also the reason why I didn't buy my Disney tickets until like a week ago, even though my trip is like 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. 2 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
You're like 3 weeks out. Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. 3 weeks, right? Boy, that's scary. I'm not like in any way prepared for that still. But anyway, we've been watching YouTube videos to try to like figure out thing. Cause like, I think I talked about this on the show previously, that I want to try to get my daughter to try some new things this trip.
Yeah.
She's a little bit older. And so I thought, maybe there's some things we can, it's funny how different people parent, and deal with the ride situation, right? And getting your kids to try rides. Mm-hmm. Growing up, my dad always tried to make me do every single ride in the world. And it's always, I think this is just this psychology thing, like especially with kids, like the harder you push them to do something, the more they don't want to do it. Right. Like
absolutely.
It's 100% real thing. And that was how it was when I was a kid. The more my dad tried to get me to go on a ride, the more I didn't want to do it. And so I'm trying not to repeat, that, but I'm also at the same time trying to get my daughter to kind of like, spread her wings a little bit, because I know that I've seen her go on rides that I'm shocked that she goes on. Right. I think I talked about it. There's a wooden roller coaster at the local amusement park here that she goes on that I'm just shocked. She loves it. And I'm like, but I'm shocked she goes on it. It's a kid's wooden roller coaster, which you don't see all that often, but it's still decently, it's not, a small roller coaster. Right. And so like, I've been talking to her. I was like, yeah, I really want you to come on Big Thunder. And she's like refusing. And I'm like, listen, that wooden coaster you go on at Carowinds is way more intense than this. Like, if you can do that, you can do this. Right.
Yeah.
And so just trying to get her there, but also just, with YouTube now, and you can literally watch a ride through of any ride that exists, like literally any ride that exists, you can watch a ride through. So I've been kind of trying to show her some things like I want her to try, like we watched a video of Flight of Passage, right? Because I was like, hey, maybe we do Flight of Passage this time, because I haven't done Flight of Passage in so long, right? Because it's always a long line, and my daughter doesn't go with us, and so we had to do riders. It's a whole thing, and we don't want to waste our whole day dealing with that, so we just haven't. But I think my daughter would like it, right? I think she'd find it cool, and so I showed her a video of it, and she, is really interested now. So I don't know if we can get her on. I think once we get her on it, that she'll like it. But I don't remember. Yeah, but it's like one of those things where it's like I've heard people say this before. Of you tell your kids, try it once. If you don't like it, you don't ever have to do it again, right? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the tact I'm taking with this. I'm like, just try it once. If you don't like it, and I also am like, listen, kid, you need to trust me, okay? I'm a wimp with these things. If I'll do it, you should be able to do it,
I was going to say, that's actually the other side of it too. Not the I'm a wimp about it, but earning your kids' trust or establishing with them that, hey, I'm not going to put you in a situation that is out of control, right? Like,
yeah.
And I was, as you were explaining all that, I was actually thinking back to, when I was a kid, like, we didn't have YouTube videos or anything, but my parents got us onto all these rides. But when I think back to it, I think the key thing was there was a difference between, like, I remember points where my parents did try the strong arm thing of, come on, what's the problem? Like, or, just, let's just go, like, just basically dragging us to it. Right. And I mean, it didn't happen often, but there was a couple of parts I remember where, like, even, especially in Disneyland, like there was a few times, like when I was very young, that I just got it in my head that, like, something like Haunted Mansion, like freaked me out a little bit. Right. But, like, just like walking into the front door with the music and everything, like that was enough that I was, like, unsure of it. Right. And
I think that's like a rite of passage, though, right? Too, it's like a kid being scared by the Haunted Mansion, right?
but I think the key thing, though, was, by the time I got to that point, I was unsure, but I think the main thing that helped with that was my parents had legitimate excitement for what we were doing. Like I think maybe and again, this is just me throwing my observations out. Every kid's different. Every family does it different. I'm not saying one way is right or wrong. But I remember, like, the thing that carried forward for me that I used with my son was not so much the, like, come on, we're going, just, just go with me and, you'll be fine. But it was, I love this thing and I'm really excited about it and I want to share it with you. Like I found that when I gave him that kind of message, he kind of disregarded the, like, well, this might be scary, whatever. It was, my dad wants to share this with me. Right. And so,
that's what I've been doing with Big Thunder. Is I'm like, this is my favorite ride. I want you to go on it with me. You know?
Exactly. And I think, the more that I did that, like, I definitely had points too where my son was, like, hesitant to get on rides and whatnot. But the more that we did that, the more, he kind of realized too after a point. It's like, well, my dad is, my dad's as excited to go on this as I am. Why would I dig in my heels about it? I think it kind of just flips a switch in their head eventually that they're like, hey, if my parents are being, legitimately excited about something and not, like, the hard part too is, like, we have had points where, and I don't do this a lot, but I've had points where I have messed with my son about things, like, not to the point of, like, traumatizing him, but but, like, saying things,
traumatizing him.
I think actually one of the, like, I think one of the last ones was I mean, he caught on to it right away. Is, when we're going to Space 220, he was like he was 12 or 13 kind of thing. So, like, he wasn't easily buying into stuff that I was saying, but I said, oh yeah, it's called Space 220 because you're 220 miles above Earth. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, they launch a ship out of Epcot. Occasionally you'll see a ship go up to this thing. And he's like, we're not really going to space. And I'm like, no, we are. And he was like, like he knew I was messing with him. Right. But there was also that glint of, like, is he telling the truth? And the thing is, but, and, as his parent, I knew, like, I'm definitely not one to exploit that, but it was all in fun and he knew that. But, I think that's part of it too, is that, when it comes to things like this, is it's like, they can tell if you're like trying to set them up for something where it's like, oh my gosh, like their reaction will be, like, hilarious versus like, being legitimately excited. Actually, I realized the other one that I thought of too was we were on Tom Sawyer's Island in Disneyland, and there's a little jump scare thing in there where you go to touch some gold and there's a pirate skeleton that pops up, and I knew about it, and I made my son go and touch the gold anyway, and the pirate jumped, and he like screamed and ran away, and we had a laugh about it. Like, but at the moment, like he was freaked out for like a split second. But again, it's hard because it's like you want to like get your kid to like experience things, but then also it's like part of it too is it's strangely fun to mess with them, but not from a malicious standpoint. Like it's, he never at any point thought anything that we did was like, this was traumatizing. It was like, haha, like you got me. But then, we moved on from it. Right. And, I get it though, when like they're first trying rides is that it's very hard to like, I'm sure your daughter is kind of like, can I trust you with this? Even though you're saying like upfront, like, yeah, trust me with this. But there's always that like doubt in the back of their head that it's like, maybe this is too much for me, right? So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough balance, right? And I don't know. We're gonna see how it goes. I there were a couple things I showed her that she was into, right? Like, I showed her Star Tours. She was like, "Ooh, that looks like fun." I was like, "Yeah, let's do that." Like,
I think again, it's also a compounding thing too. Like, if you pick and choose your battles correctly, like you kind of like lead up to things, it's like if they go through so many things where it's like, hey, this was all good, the next thing is most likely going to be good, right? Like you can kind of get that into their mindset, where again that comes back to the trust me conversation, which it is a hard thing. I get it, but hopefully you guys get to ride Big Thunder together.
Well, because we're going for such a short time, I am gonna do the Lightning Lane thing every day. Just because we're only there for, we're only doing 4 park days, right? Which is weird for us. Yeah. But we're doing 4 park days, so we got to make the best use of them.
I would do Lightning Lanes anyway, but I mean, that's just me. Yeah.
I'm just cheap. So yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. It's gonna be interesting how that's all gonna work out. I think this will be a different trip for us because she's finally also old enough maybe to like, we can keep her up for some of the nighttime stuff too, whereas before she would like crash by 7:30. Now she can stay up pretty late and we can go do things, like Phantasmic, which we haven't seen Phantasmic in forever. Like, so it's been so long since we've seen Phantasmic or even Happily Ever After. I mean, just any of that stuff, like because my daughter would go to bed so early, so we would be in, back in the hotel room really early every night. And kind of nice now that she's getting a little older that we can do this nighttime stuff.
You get this whole new experience that it's just that next layer of like things for them to be like, oh my gosh, like, I want to see that again, right?
Exactly. And we're definitely going to utilize the midday chill / quick nap kind of deal, which again, prior to having kids, when my wife and I would just go, there was no midday relaxation. We were rope drop to close, man. Like that was how we operated. So it's just different, obviously. And how we've been, we've taken fairly long breaks during the middle of the day when she was younger. But now I think we could just probably do like a quick break and get back out there again. So, I don't know. We're going to see how everything works out. I also, part of the reason why we're staying at Bay Lake is, and we got park hoppers, even though we're there for 4 days, we got park hoppers. The thought was, well, Animal Kingdom closes at 7. We're probably not going to stay there till 7. After dinner, we can just go walk around Magic Kingdom for a little while because we're right there. Like even if we're tired, we can just go back to the hotel because it's literally right there. You just walk back. So that's a really nice advantage because we can just at night go into Magic Kingdom and hang around there.
Being able to casually like hit up a theme park is such a weird. Like it's a cool
awesome,
vibe,
though.
but it's
awesome.
It's amazing. But we've done that, from both Disney World and Disneyland, where it's like, oh, it's after dinner. Well, let's go back into the park for a bit. I don't care if I actually get on any rides. Let's just go hang out in the park, right? And it's like, it's a cool thing, and especially when your daughter is like. I feel like she, being able to see like, the evening lights and everything, that also is like a core memory thing.
Agreed.
I feel that like, I think we all have that core memory of like just being in Disney like at night is like
Yes.
such a it's such a thing, right?
I would say I would say a lot of my childhood memories of going to Disney were nighttime things. Like honestly, I mean, I've talked about it before. Like one of my main memories from like when I was the youngest at Disney was the Main Street Electrical Parade. Like I remember that really vividly. But yeah, to your point, there's something about the parks at night where they're all lit up, and it's almost like a different place, and it's a whole different experience. And not getting to experience that, for her, it's been different. I mean, she did, Happily Ever After once, right? We did that one time, and I think I told the story that like the second like it ended, she passed.
She was out. Yeah.
She passed out. Like, and I don't even. I'm not even like be exaggerating here. I mean, literally, the last firework went off. I had her on my shoulders, and she just went boom. Just it was a signal to just go out, which is fine, right? Like that's fine. Nowadays though, I think, I mean, when we did the Christmas party last year, she was up till midnight that night. I mean, she, which, and she was wired, man. I might just throw her some sugar like around 8:00 or something and we'll be good.
I hate to say it, but, I think your future may also entail after hours parties.
Oh, I would love that. I've talked about this before. I miss when they used to leave the parks open until like 2 a.m. When Magic Kingdom used to be open at 2 a.m. for extra magic hours. Oh, that was magical.
But, I agree. I've done extra magic hours, but the after hours parties they're a slightly different vibe too.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
And it's like we definitely gravitated more towards that because as my son got older, like I remember too, like for me it wasn't I remember walking out of Disneyland carrying my son and like, carrying him back to the hotel room because he was, out cold. And then, but then, like, as he got older, doing the after hours parties and like doing more nighttime stuff, like we all agreed it's like, this is so much better at night. And, and, my son absolutely, every time we say like, oh yeah, we're doing an after hours party. There's like, I mean, he's never complained about anything we do at Disney, but it's always like, we're doing an after hours party. And he's like, sweet. Like, he knows what's up. He knows it's like, we get to go hang out. You hit up all the rides and you're like, eating popcorn and ice cream in between because, that's part of it too. And it's just, it's such a different feeling, right? Like they'll know it when they experience it. Like it's such a weird thing to like, everyone talks about like, oh, Disney at night is so different. Everyone goes, oh yeah, I'm sure. But it's like, you don't know it until you've experienced it. Like you can't describe it. It's such a,
I mean, listen, I love Magic Kingdom at night, but I think my favorite might be Epcot, but,
I wish Epcot was open later.
I know
because they closed right with Illuminations.
It's not Illuminations anymore, but yeah.
Sorry, did I say Illuminations?
You did say Illuminate. That was a slip right there.
That's clearly programmed in my head. Yeah, Luminous.
Yes, Luminous. Yes.
Like, what is it called? Yeah, that Illumination show. It's next to MGM.
Oh man!
But, I wish that like I agree with you. Like Epcot at night is also very cool, and I wish like it's always fun. I enjoy walking out of there. Like you wait until like people have cleared out from Luminous, and you kind of like wait till the tail end. That's always like that always feels really good. It's hard to describe.
It is. I always, and I'm sure I know a lot of people are nostalgic for the sparkly tiles, the floor tiles, right on the ground, the concrete. Yeah,
the replacement for it is actually in the center garden. Yeah. I'm willing to let go of the old fiber optic tiles.
Yeah, the fiber optic tiles are cool though, man.
Yeah, the new ones are. Yeah.
The coolest part about it was though, always is that you didn't know they were there during the day, right? Like you didn't know they were there, and then at night you're walking out and all of a sudden, because it was like this magical thing where it's like you had no clue that they were there, and then it's dark and it's like, oh, there they are. The ground is sparkling, it's. I don't know. There's just a different vibe at night. So
I think maybe that's part of it too. Is just at night, like a lot of things happen that like you'll never see like lighting effects and stuff during the day. So like you always get like there's always something cool that you'll end up seeing at night that you just physically cannot see during the day. So maybe that's part of it.
I would say the number one thing that's better at night than during the day is Pandora. That you can't beat Pandora.
Yes.
At night, Pandora at night is amazing.
It's
it's
crazy.
It's such a shame though, because Animal Kingdom closes so early, and it's you really don't
hard.
Yeah.
If you're in the summer, I don't even know if you actually get to see it, I don't think it's open late enough that you can see it. Yeah,
I agreed. I don't know.
They need to get that Disney Dome going where they can just close the dome over top. Yeah,
because I think when I'm going to be there, they close at 7. And that's not early enough for it's not. It's not late enough for for it to be dark enough.
When is sundown in Florida?
That's a good question. Are you looking that up right now?
I am.
Okay, good. So I don't have to. We haven't talked about any topics, and there's not a lot of topics this year.
I
said this year. This week. There's not a lot of topics this week. I'm thrown off because of our weird conversations here.
So just an FYI, so as of today, sundown is 8:14 p.m. So the problem is that you won't you're there before sundown.
The whole reason they were keeping Animal Kingdom open later was for Pandora, right? And then after the pandemic, we never really recovered from that, which is unfortunate because it is really cool at night, and getting to experience. It's cool during the day too. Don't get me wrong; it's just a different level at night. But whatever.
Just everything at night is better. That's this whole conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, Trevor, I don't even think this is news, to be totally honest, and I don't even.
It's a funny little thing that we'll talk about and forget about immediately, but
it's just kind of silly because, listen, there is no one that's listening to this show right now that is gonna stay at Lakeshore Lodge and is gonna be like, "Hey, do you want to go to Perspective Pond?" No one's going to say that.
or Lakeside Lagoon.
No, the names don't matter. You're just going to go, hey, let's go to that kids area over there with the stork or whatever. That's nobody calls it by the names.
I do. I like to know the names, but it's also once I've been there, it's it's called this.
Yes, I get it.
The funny thing about this, this news post from DVC News is talking about, they announced the pool areas in Lakeshore Lodge, but then on the Disney Parks blog, they've gone and updated the names. Yeah. So the zero entry, two of the names. So the zero entry pool was originally referred to as Lakeside Lagoon, is now being referred to as Lakeshore Lagoon, which makes sense because they're aligning it with the name of the resort, right?
But you're not going to be sitting in your room going, let's go to Lakeshore Lagoon. You're going to be like, let's go to the pool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then the other one, the other leisure pool is being renamed from Perspective Pond to Cypress Point. Maybe my only thought with that is, maybe calling it a pond might be a bit of a turnoff to people. Because I guess to me, when I hear pond, it implies untreated water, I guess. A pond is that's just just natural water. Whereas, calling it Cypress Point is it sounds like a destination location of some sort. So
I just feel like we're all thinking a little hard about this.
Yeah. I will say it is interesting that Disney is thinking about it, and like I said, it could be that they got some feedback on hey, this sounds a little weird, or we don't like this, or maybe also Cypress Point is and cypress trees, I'm guessing. So
and everyone's saying this was just they screwed up because Reflections was called Reflections at Disney Lakeside Lodge. So and they basically used the same plans from Reflections. They just changed up the names.
Just copy pasting from that got accidentally brought forward into the new resort.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And listen, maybe it was just a typo. Maybe internally they had the names correct, and then whoever wrote the Disney Parks blog, the same people that write the Parks blog are not the same people that are building the stuff, right? So it could have just been a miscommunication, but I don't know. I just don't think it's much of a story to me. It's whatever. They changed the name. Cool.
Yeah. I mean,
I think
yeah.
what
I was gonna
I
say, how
think,
many times have they changed names of stuff over the years? Like,
yeah, all the time, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't really matter. Uh, but and I know this is not parks news, but I mean, I can't not bring this next topic up, right? I
This
mean,
will
you kinda
bleed
have
into
to.
the parks, I think.
Yeah, probably. So
I guaranteed there will be something in the park relating to this. But
yeah. So Disney Plus has ordered a pilot for a reboot of the Mickey Mouse Club,
okay,
which has been gone since when? It's been gone for a while, right? I mean,
I want to say
1996. This article
yeah.
says.
I was gonna say
96.
it's either late '90s or early 2000s. But yeah, I guess it would have been.
Well, and I mean,
Mid to
listen,
late
don't get
90s,
me
yeah.
wrong though. The version of it, the rebooted version of it, right? That was there from, what was it saying, 89 to 96, right? I guess, or being revived. Yeah. So, I mean, that launched the careers of Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Ryan Gosling, and who's the other one? There's one more. Carrie Russell. Yeah, all those people.
Mhm.
Yeah, all those people were on the. I mean, and they were kids, and that's pretty amazing. That kind of like, they were Mouseketeers. So, this is. I mean, it's not to say that this is gonna. Rebooting the show is gonna, whatever kids are involved with this it's gonna rocket them to the same stardom that that cast did. But it is interesting. I do wonder. I mean, what they're gonna do with this, right?
The interesting thing, and so these shows, like you said, they're absolutely. I feel they're absolutely necessary for young talent because, like you said, a lot of people have use them as a platform to get their career started, but I don't think it should be just about that. I think it's also that, I remember like in the 80s and 90s, like there wasn't just Mickey Mouse Club. There was a couple of other shows where the one that comes to my mind is Kids Incorporated, which I think was actually a competitor to Mickey Mouse Club.
I don't remember that one.
Jennifer Love Hewitt actually started on that one.
Wow.
So yeah, but the interesting thing is, like, a lot of the people on those shows, it's not that they necessarily went anywhere, but I think it's, it had enough of an impression on me as a kid that, seeing other kids in roles like this, I think is important because it can be inspirational even beyond, saying like, oh, well, these kids could start a career. It's like, yeah, but also it enables other kids to realize that, stuff like this is a potential avenue to explore, and just,
that's true. Yeah.
Creativity. And, honestly, I will say, I don't think that there's enough love right now for, like, there used to be a lot more like musical entertainment and just like, people singing and dancing and stuff like that. I feel like we haven't had a lot of that lately. So I'm okay with them trying to reboot this. Like I think back, I mean, like High School Musical kind of thing, right? Like, people quote that all the time, especially like millennials, everybody knows what it is. Even if you didn't like High School Musical, you know what it is, right?
See,
like,
I'm an old millennial, so I miss the High School Musical thing.
I caught the tail end of it, and it was also like partly like some of my friends were very much into musicals, so it was like there was like a whole slew of musical shows and stuff like that they were interested in. So it was like, and actually I think about also to my sister as well, was she was into musicals, so it was very easy for me to be like, oh yeah, like even if I wasn't like sitting down and watching this stuff, I was aware of it. I put it in the same space as like Grease as well. Like I know Grease is, the funny thing is like, Grease is like 70s, but it was focused on a bunch of high schoolers, right? Or even though they didn't, I mean, they didn't look like high schoolers on the show. But,
no.
But
yeah, that's one of my favorite old TV things is how like it's like, how's that person in high school? They look like they're 40 and have 3 kids. Like
somebody in there, somebody who's like 30 years old playing like a 16-year-old, which actually, coincidentally enough, I didn't realize this, but Hannah Montana, the older brother to Miley Cyrus on the show.
Yeah.
Apparently, so there was an episode that John Cena was on the show with them, and he thought that the guy playing Miley's older brother was a kid, but he was actually the same age as John Cena. But when you see the two of them side by side, they're like, I can't remember his name, Jason something. But like, you look at him versus John Cena, even at that time, it was like, he looked like a kid standing next to John Cena, which was hilarious. But
it's like Mean Girls is always like a good example, right? It's like, Rachel McAdams, who's probably, I don't know how old she was at the time that Mean Girls was done, but she had to be in her 30s at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and Lindsay Lohan too, right? Like stuff like that. We're still even doing that now, but it's just kind of funny.
But so I guess, back to the point of Mickey Mouse Club and just like, just the general, like, vibe of it. I hope that whatever this is, it turns out to be something that, it's not that these shows always have to like hit it out of the park, but like I said, I feel like it's still valid that they be there because it is inspirational to other kids. It is generally like putting out good vibes, I guess is the way I see it. Like these shows are generally tooled that way, that it's, meant to just be a positive influence on kids. And then, yeah, like you say, back to the point of like Disney park stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if, if this gets enough traction that, they start doing like, Disney park specials with Mickey Mouse Club and, that it all plays into, it's all part and parcel to a larger thing, right? So, yeah.
Rachel McAdams was 26 when she was in Mean Girls. I apologize to Rachel McAdams. I forgot that she's Canadian. I didn't realize that.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, she's Canadian. I didn't know.
I didn't realize she was on the list of Canadian celebrities that we needed to acknowledge.
Yeah, she is. I didn't know this. I was very unaware. Who knew?
I believe Ryan Gosling is Canadian as well.
Is he? Really?
Yeah, he is Canadian. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He, I think, or I don't know if it was before or after.
Wait, he was born in the exact same place as Rachel McAdams. They were born in the same place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if it was before or after, but he was on a show called Breaker High, which, I actually don't know if that was a Canadian show either. Maybe I'm. This comes back to my, me talking about like oddball things that I knew that people are like, what are you talking about? But
by the way, the casting director of the Mickey Mouse Club in 1989 that cast all those people has to be like the greatest casting director of all time, right? Like literally picked out all superstars. Like, I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah, Breaker High was a Canadian show.
Okay,
so
I wasn't familiar. So
it was actually you remember Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
I've heard of it, but I never watched it. But yeah.
Okay, so they eventually did Sweet Life on Deck, where the kids were on a cruise ship doing high school stuff. Breaker High was that before Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. So it was a Canadian show about a bunch of kids that were doing high school on a cruise ship cruising around the world.
And
Ryan Gosling was on it.
That's crazy. Wasn't there?
Okay. People are going to be like, "What are you talking about, Trevor?"
No. Now I was thinking to myself, wasn't there a? Do you remember what was it? Road Rules on MTV. It was the
Road Rules.
Yeah, it was like Real Worlds, but I think they like traveled around, or maybe it was Real World, and they went on. There was like a semester at sea one, I remember. So they were in college and they were at sea. There was a whole thing in to do in the 90s and early 2000s to go to sea.
So funny enough, my MTV experience was actually filtered through Much Music, which was the Canadian counterpart to MTV. So I don't know that I actually got to watch a lot of like proper MTV shows.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we can stop talking about TV now and get back to park stuff.
Yeah, that was a fun little
a nice little aside, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But again, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Mickey Mouse Club, if you start hearing about them doing stuff in the parks with it, if this show takes off well enough.
Well, if they do anything with catchy songs, I'm sure my daughter will be watching it because a new Descendants movie came out. So I said, okay, what songs are now going to be stuck in my head? Because listen, Descendants whatever you feel about it. They make good music. They do. They make really catchy music.
Well, so I have seen when my son was younger, we were watching the original 3 Descendants movies.
Yeah.
And fully admit the music on those shows was fantastic. I saw some clips of some of the more recent Descendant shows. And it was, of course, there was people doing like the side by side of like Dove Cameron was she was singing in the original ones, and fantastic. And then these new ones are like
I disagree, man, because I'm exposed to all the new ones, and especially like the zombie movies. The zombie movies have very catchy music.
I never zombies never made it to our house, so
it's just, dude, I think I told you when I went to that Descendants Zombies concert thing with my daughter, all the kids are singing, but I'm looking around and I see all the parents singing too because they're catchy songs. Like, and
it's fine. I mean, I as we're talking, like I still have We're All in This Together from High School Musical.
Oh yeah,
stuck in my head.
Exactly.
Even though you said you didn't watch High School Musical, you still know exactly what I'm talking about.
100% do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't hate on them doing these kinds of shows, and it's a good way to get kids involved in music and bringing new music out and everything. Like it's fine. And if you hear it in the park and then you're like, oh, I know what this is, right? You get the reference.
I know that song.
Yeah. I too get this reference.
I too, I am hip. How do you do, fellow kids? It's what was I just thinking? I had a thing in my head and I'm lost.
I derailed you, didn't I?
No, you did a little bit. My brain is broken now. Oh, okay, well, let's talk about what we're going to talk about next.
All right.
The animation experience, the animation courtyard area over there at Hollywood Studios is still coming together. I was really hopeful, Trevor, that the whole thing was going to be open by the time I'm there. Specifically, the magic of Disney animation that we've been talking about, and we just got an opening date, and unfortunately,
you're a bit early. Yeah,
it's so we did get an opening date, which is September 14th. Which is great, very exciting. And the only other thing, and we've been talking about this a lot, so we're not going to talk about this for long. But since we got an opening date, we got that. But we also got attraction posters too, which I love attraction posters. I think
I know you
everyone
do.
knows that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I will say none of these are really grabbing me as ones that I feel like I need to have. But that's okay.
I would say Drawn to Wonderland is the of these ones that are in here. The Drawn to Wonderland one is probably my favorite.
If I were more into Alice in Wonderland, maybe I'd be more interested in it. I'm just not a big Alice in Wonderland fan.
I think honestly it's because it has very much that Mary Blair vibe to it, and that's like I really go for that art style. So
if I were going to go with any of them, it's the Olaf one, but that one is it doesn't really do a whole lot for me. It's fine. But listen, I'm excited for this to start. I can't wait to actually see it when it's happening and go, but I'm going to miss it. So that stinks.
Well, but we say this all the time is, just because you missed it now, that's more reasons
to back.
Reasons to plan your next trip, right? And
that's why we keep going back, right?
you get to go to the courtyard and say to your daughter like, hey, we should check this out next time we're here, right?
Someday we'll go there and there'll be a thing we can do.
and I've heard even the courtyard being open, like people are just it's giving a really good energy to the area because they are like there's doing just like random character meets and stuff like that,
which is great.
Yeah,
they should do that.
I shouldn't even say character meets. It's just character interaction. It's just like roaming characters, which I'm glad that they're actually doing that.
They've been doing so much more of that since COVID, since they came back from COVID. Like when we were there at Hollywood Studios, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years ago, Chip and Dale were just hanging out in one of the little green fenced off areas right in front of the Chinese theater, and they were just like fooling around with each other, right? Like they were playing like pranks on each other. They were having like a picnic. They were coming over to like my daughter and like interacting with her. Like it was just fun, and it was that they've been doing that kind of stuff a lot more, and I like it. I think it's cool. So why don't we go ahead and do our ad though, Trevor? And then we got a couple more things to talk about, and
All right. So this week, our sponsor is DVC Rental Store. DVC Rental Store is a keyholder vacation company that offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at premium Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% of the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. And as always, DVC Rental Store pays the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home. Call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 382-7368. When you speak to them, be sure to let them know the Welcome Home sent you.
Okay.
Right.
So we got
D23.
Yeah.
D23 tidbits. I feel like
tidbits. I like that.
Yeah. This is not like, or I mean, it is kind of a big thing, but I don't know. Like,
what do you mean? What do you mean? It's kind of a big thing.
Well, so they announced the pavilions for,
the experiences and schedule and all that fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
So there's some park stuff in here though, right? Like
there is, yeah.
For example, like there's, I'm looking at this one thing and it says the Avatar experience, and I'm wondering if we're going to get some sort of look at maybe like a little. It says step into a lush bioluminescent world, experience an immersive 4D moment. I'm wondering if there's going to be any sort of like little previews of what's going to be coming, for that to Disneyland, right?
That's what I assume that is. Yeah, they're just kind of teasing the Disneyland version of Avatar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then they're talking about the Bluey movie, right? They're Bluey and Bingo are going to be there. And I'm just trying to find like the park stuff here. I'm skipping over a lot of stuff, obviously.
Yeah, I think this is why I said like it's doesn't feel like they're kind of like showing off a lot of different things here, but it doesn't feel or it's not as Disney parks focused as I would like. But I also get it's D23. They're not going to do that, right?
But that's not true though, because they're saying here Imagineering Horizons, which is the Disney Experience Pavilion, where they announce all this stuff, where they will show all the stuff they're working on, and then we'll get all the announcements. It's the largest one they've ever built. So this is, to me, it's very park centric, right?
Well, yeah, but I don't know. After all the stuff that they've announced in the last year, maybe this is just me being a little cynical about it, is we already know a whole bunch of stuff that is coming down the pipe, like, Monsters Inc. stuff and, Villains Land, all the things that we've already talked about. And so, they say that there's going to be this huge pavilion. It's like, you already have so much stuff in the pipe. What else are you adding to this? Like, I guess all those things
we predicted. Remember all the things we predicted on that one episode? Yeah.
But I feel like Disney, like, I don't know. I feel like when they have stuff kind of in progress, my fear is that they're going to just rehash, like, here's a pavilion showing off all the things we're working on, but it's like nothing new. It's just like, we're working on this. We're, here's further down the line design information for, Villains Land and stuff like that, which, I'm happy to see, but I sometimes feel like when they say like it's going to be this huge pavilion, but I get also they're not going to show their hand early and be like, we've got a whole bunch of new stuff planned. But I feel like it just kind of lends itself towards disappointment, where it's like, I already know all of this, right? And that's that's the hard part with, like, obviously, because we do talk about this stuff regularly, is that I sometimes feel like we learned all this information like a year ago. And, they're doing another pavilion about it. And it's like, what are you actually showing me that's new and interesting? But it's also not fair of me to assume that, every D23 should be like blowing my socks off, right?
But I feel like every D23, they have announced a lot of stuff, like I feel like they always announce. And there's a lot we don't know about the new Cars Land. Yeah. There's a lot we don't know about Monstropolis. There's a lot we don't know about Villain. I mean, we know almost nothing about Villains Land.
Yeah, I actually hope that or the other thing we haven't hardly talked about at all, because they haven't really said anything about it, is the Disneyland Beyond stuff as well. I'm hoping that maybe plays into it too.
Yeah, I would bet there's a lot of Disneyland there too. I think there's going to be a lot of cool park stuff at this D23. I'm just guessing, especially because it's Josh's first as the CEO. I'm sure. I don't know. I'm assuming he's going to be doing a lot of the presentations, even though there's a new head of experiences. But I don't know. We're going to have to see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I reading this article, I find it funny just how they structured it, where they're like, Bluey and Bingo are available for the Bluey movie booth, but then the next line is guests can also celebrate the new Simpsons movie.
There's another Simpsons movie. I forgot. It's still like, a year away though. It's 2027.
Yeah,
it's still a whole
I know,
year.
But it's just funny putting Bluey next to the Simpsons. Like that doesn't feel. and I know, like it's all this. It is all Disney now, but it's like it's just weird seeing the Simpsons folded into that whole thing.
Yeah, we've actually been on a Bluey kick lately in our house, which is a usual thing. It's not like it's unusual watching Bluey all of a sudden, but but it's we've been on a bigger Bluey kick lately. So but anyway, there are phases.
We had the same thing where there was phases where we were 24/7 cars in our house, and then I think I want to say it rotated like every 3 months. There was like something new that was like it like almost obsessive. Like
yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. Where like my son would like find a show or something, and it would be like, this is the thing, and it's like Cars was one of the bigger ones where it was like we just had it on repeat all the time, and
I get it, but yeah. So listen, I expect there to be a lot of D23. A lot of parks news coming out of it.
Like I said, I know it's a large pavilion, but I feel, or I'm just trying to set my expectations. That's not all going to be new stuff. I feel like it's going to be a mix of them rehashing like things that they've already announced and kind of showing like updates. Like I said, I think Villains Land, I know we haven't, or there hasn't been a lot of detailed talk about it. Like we've speculated on, there's going to be, maybe there'll be a roller coaster there. Maybe they changed gears on it and it's going to be something different, or something we didn't expect. I'm still kind of envisioning, like another Guardians type coaster, but we'll see what they say at D23. Maybe we will actually get some details on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But along with that, there's also D23 day at Disneyland Resort. So because for D23, right?
Yep.
So they're going to have on August 13th, which is when D23 starts, and they're going to have a couple things, right? So they're going to have this Disney Junior Let's Play party thing on August 13th at California Adventure, and then there's going to be a bunch of stuff, right?
Well,
there's
by a multi-day event in downtown Disney. So they actually have things going on outside of the parks too, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, and then on August 13th too, they're going to have every valid park admissions can get a complimentary Mickey Mouse ear hat featuring the D23 day logo and a commemorative guide. Limited quantities are available, so I'm sure that's going to be a whole thing.
Oh man, yeah, people lining up for this hat is going to be crazy.
The whole thing. Yeah, that's going to be. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the pictures of what's going on at Disney Springs in downtown Disney for the Wakanda stuff.
I am aware of it. Yes,
I saw some pictures. I was like, what?
It's hitting. It's hitting the same kind of levels as like Pokemon releases, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's gotten to this level. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised, but
yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I used to collect. I was into card game collecting and stuff like that when I was younger, and I get it. I get the allure of it, and unfortunately, the other side of it now is you do have the people that are looking to make a buck off of it, which is unfortunate because it stops people who legitimately want to enjoy, these card games from enjoying it because somebody wants to resell, rare cards at a higher price and stuff like that, which, I mean, that's the part I don't like. Like I appreciate, having hype and, having people line up. fully admit I camped out for a Nintendo Wii once. Like I literally, me and my friend camped outside of a Toys R Us one night to get a Wii. So I get it, but I don't like the fact that you know it's not just people who are fans of it that are lining up for this stuff right now.
Yeah, I get that. I agree, and that it kind of stinks that it always turns into like somebody trying to make money off it. Which I understand. It just takes a little bit of the fun out of it, right?
Yeah, like I said, I hope I know Disney has been taking measures to try and control that a little bit better lately, like between things like the Lorcana stuff and like pin trading and all that. They've been trying to curtail some of that stuff, which I appreciate, because I believe people who are passionate about this stuff should be able to be passionate about it without having to deal with gray market people trying to make a buck.
Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah. So some of the other stuff they're going to be doing too, though, Trevor, is there is a Disney Legends Cavalcade. Okay, so there's it says 23 characters as they make their way down Main Street, USA, with Disneyland Band and Disney Legends. And then we have dance parties going on. So there's some dance parties, including a Stitch one, which always a popular thing. There's also this. It says keep the dance moves grooving during the Disney Plus Hulu Throwbacks Dance Party. I don't know what that means. Throwbacks to what?
Disney Plus Hulu Throwbacks Dance Party. Yeah, I wonder, is that like doing like old shows kind of thing, or like? I'm guessing because it's Disney Plus and Hulu, like maybe they're hitting on like 90s and early 2000 shows. Back to my point about musicals that I can see there being a market for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also they're going to be doing any guests that's in the park can it says may receive complimentary unlimited digital downloads of any PhotoPass photos taken that day. I'm assuming May is an interesting. It is. I thought so too, Trevor. Yeah. And I was like, does that mean they're only going to give it to some people, or does that mean that they're just hedging? Like,
I feel like it's because it's not. Or hold on, there's a double asterisk. What does it say?
I'm looking at it too. Yeah.
Where is it?
I got it. It says digital photo downloads exclude separately priced PhotoPass packages and products offered at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and other locations. So that's all it says.
Okay, so I feel like they're phrasing it that way to make sure people don't go like, oh, you can go and do a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique session and have it all, have it be a freebie, right? They're giving themselves the ability to say no, you just get the ride photos and the character photos and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's still good though. I mean, that's great, and there's going to be also special magic shots and things like that. What else do we got going on here? What is this? What are these things? Oh, there's special merch. So,
yeah.
So I'm not really loving any of this, but that's neither here nor there.
So, okay, I think I should call this out because I got called out on Facebook by.
Ooh, what'd you get called out for?
So
that's exciting. What'd you get called out for?
Because we were talking about merch and I was saying about how we were talking about how we like more obscure reference shirts versus like something that has a date stamp on it. But then I went on to say that I really like the Epcot 40th hoodie, which fair. I get. Yeah, I see the contradiction there. What my stance is on that is that if you're going to do labeled merch, it has to be really good. Like, for me to be like, yeah, I want this, it has to be good enough that it doesn't like, you can celebrate these things like D23 day merch, but like you said, you're looking at the shirt kind of going like, it's okay. I think that's the line for me is yes, fair enough. You called me out on that, yes, I will buy labeled merch, but it has to be really good.
That's
right?
listen, you're allowed to amend your opinion. That's fine. There's also there's a bunch of these medallions. These are cool. Have you seen that? Did you get down to that part with the medallions? Yeah, these are pretty neat, actually. I would want to get these.
I wonder how big they are.
They look like the size of like maybe, I don't know, a little larger than a quarter, like maybe like a
loony or a toonie, or
I don't know what those are.
I knew you wouldn't, but actually they look, or if this is the size, this is a little bit bigger than a toonie. But I wonder if they would be about, or so I guess like a silver dollar, I guess, would be about equivalent
you just
size.
said loony or toonie. All I could think was Looney Tunes. So
well, a loony and a toonie are $1 and a $2 coin in Canada.
Well, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So these are like
the loony has a loon on it, which is why it was called the loony. But then the toonie has a polar bear on it. But people voted on the name, and they were like, just call it a toonie because, loony and toonie. So
I like it. There are lots of times, actually. I feel
like I'm dropping lots of Canada lore on this episode.
That's okay. You're allowed to do that. Yeah, you're allowed to do that. It's it's one of those things where we watched. I was saying we were watching Bluey, and we were saying like so many of the things that they say in Australia, like some of the phrases that they use and everything, like kindy or what was the other one? I don't know. There was a bunch where I was just like, I want to say these things. Like, these are great. These are great phrases. Like why don't we make these up? Yeah, well, that one, but also it was like Brecky and just like the way they like abbreviate some things, and it's like I want to call things that. So anyway, but
the colloquialisms are fun.
Yeah, they are fun. But these medallions look pretty cool. I like them. I think I had marked this as a separate news item, but it is in this article. So
it's at the bottom of this list, and I think
we'll just talk about it now.
Okay, this popcorn bucket is very cool. You're never going to be able to get it though. Like that's,
you think it's just going to be gone?
Yeah, it's going to be gone so quick. I did actually see, or I knew this was going to be on the rundown because I saw a Facebook post where somebody was they were showing eBay listings for pre-orders for this popcorn bucket,
and it's not even out yet, and there are people already taking pre-orders.
People are doing pre-orders and like over $100 for it, kind of thing, which is insane.
Yeah. I mean, I saw this and I was like, I didn't realize when I first saw it, I didn't know it was part of a specific celebration at Disneyland, because I immediately got mad. I'm like, but wait, we have the Hatbox Ghost at Disney World now. Why can't we have that at Disney World too? Like, let's have that everywhere. And I get it because it's a specific thing, but I don't know. It's very cool.
Yeah, there's nothing saying that they won't do a version of it later that is across all Disney parks. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like the first run of it and then you see it come back later.
It's possible. If it's super popular, this is not like Disney Vault days anymore. I feel like it's like if something's popular enough, they'll keep selling it. I feel like.
Also, it's properly popcorn bucket shaped, which is nice because not a lot of popcorn buckets are actually bucket shaped. Because it's a hat box, which kind of is the same shape as a popcorn bucket.
It's perfect, right? And that's like the best themed popcorn bucket I've bought is my Skyliner one, because the Skyliner car is shaped like a popcorn bucket, so it's a good popcorn bucket. Most of these popcorn buckets now are just like decorative. They don't hold popcorn well, But anyway,
you know what this one needs though, as an upgrade, is the dispensary of the popcorn needs to be through the mouth. So you need to have the option to like open the mouth and have popcorn come out of the mouth. That would be
I think
next tier.
I think it'd be cool if every time you open the lid, the head disappeared. So
that would be cool. Yeah,
right.
That would be a neat little effect. Yeah,
right. It should light up though. Like at least it should at least light up. I don't see anywhere saying it does.
I guaranteed there will be some sort of lighting effect on this. I can't.
Yeah, there should.
I can't see them doing this kind of popcorn bucket and not having lighting attached to it.
I agree.
I stand by being able to open the mouth and have popcorn come out of the mouth. Like that would be. That'd be awesome.
This next item, by the way, I am
Yeah.
grossed out by, and I'm going to tell you.
Oh
why.
no! What?
No, I'm going to tell you why I'm grossed out by this, not by the food item itself. I'm just going to read this to you, and then you'll figure out why I'm grossed out by it.
Okay.
The Sorcerer Apprentice Mickey Cake Pop, presented by Visa. Why?
Huh?
Since when are we doing cake pops presented with a sponsor? Like
what?
What? Like
what? Why? Why does Visa need to make me a cake pop?
Why does there need to be a sponsor for a cake pop? That's absurd. Come on. Even for Disney, that one's bad.
Yeah, like, I mean, to be fair, like there used to be a point where like there was like a McDonald's fries cart in Disneyland.
Sure.
But
that's one thing though. This is a one-off cake pop that they have.
Having a specific item, like I guess having like an area or something sponsored by a company. You're right, makes sense. Them just trying to get their name. Like, is there like a Visa logo on the cake pop? Or
that's what I'm saying. Like, why? And it doesn't say. By the way, it doesn't say you have to buy these. It just says while supplies last. The Haunted Mansion. The Hatbox Ghost one says available for purchase. This one just says indulge in it. So I do wonder if maybe they're giving these out for free and they're doing so because Visa paid for them to give them out for free. But
okay, but it
could
make
say
a
that,
little
though.
more sense. Yeah. I guess if it's exclusive to the day and it's clearly like hey, everybody gets a free cake pop while supplies last. But I guess somebody's sponsoring it that way. Fair game, but. You're right. The wording of it seems weird.
It does. It does. They're also doing though a Disney Princess. It's a live performance of Disney Princess: The Ultimate Concert Celebration on August 13th. So it says this spectacular performance brings together the largest gathering of Disney Princess talent ever assembled, celebrating the iconic stories across animation, live action, stage, and music. Attendance is limited. And it says this is the one-of-a-kind concert that will transform the night with dazzling lights, sweeping projections, and sky-high fountains, creating a truly immersive world where the music, magic, and legacy of Disney princesses shine like never before. Okay. But it also says fans can stream the concert on Disney Plus and watch it on Disney Channel Freeform and Wonderful World of Disney. So if you're not there, you can just watch it anyway.
I mean... But, that's fair, and watching it on Disney Plus, I'm sure won't be anything like seeing it live. But
that's true. Yes, that is very true. But it does say that you will need there's a virtual queue for this. So if you're going to want to do this, then you're going to need to go in the virtual queue for it.
Virtual queue enrollment begins at 12 p.m., which is interesting that they're doing it in the middle of the day, and then the concerts are at 8:30 and 9:45 p.m.
Okay,
which that's really late for a princess concert, I feel, because I feel like a lot of it like
this is targeted for Disney adults, not children.
That's what I'm feeling is that there's not gonna be a lot of kids at this concert, which is interesting.
This is a Disney adult concert, not a kid concert,
and it is happening in California Adventure as well.
Yeah, I assume it's happening where they do World of Color, like where it's fountains and
they said Paradise Garden Park, which I'm like, I was like, where are they doing this with fountains? But as soon as I saw California Adventure, it's like, they're using the World of Color fountains for this. Yeah.
Which makes total sense. So that should be interesting. I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it. I might tune into it once it's on Disney Plus. We'll see.
Yep.
But there's that. And then also there's just going to be like special discounts for guests and stuff during the first couple weeks of August. If they have their D23 event badge or a gold membership card, and have like discounts and stuff.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, like discounts. Discounts are always good, right?
Ooh, corn dogs are on there.
These are all the discounts. Beignets and corn dogs and churros.
Blue Ribbon corn dogs. The corn dogs in Disneyland are just so good.
I know. I hear all you Disneyland talk about. Disneyland people talk about the corn dog.
If you know, you know. I mean, it's the red cart corn dogs, but I mean, I feel like Blue Ribbon corn dogs would still be good because this is Blue Ribbon's out in downtown Disney, I believe. Yeah.
All right, my friend. I don't have anything else. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's enough. Because we had a lot of we had a lot of interesting conversation pieces here, and
Yeah.
I'm really curious. Like I said, I'm not trying to hate on the pavilion stuff for D23. I just feel, or I've done this to myself in the past, where it's like, oh my god, they're going to announce so much amazing stuff, and it's like most of it is
disappointed.
Well, most of it is rehashing things, which I get. Like, you know, there will be details, there will be new things we learn. It's just I don't want to hype myself up on something that's not going to be there. So
I understand. But I also at the same time, I'm like, getting more details about cars and monsters and villains is good, because we know so little, you know. So yeah, I mean, I think it's good.
Yeah, I feel like Piston Peak is the most fleshed out area we know about at this point, or we've gotten the most information about Piston Peak so far.
I would actually say Monstropolis, because we know about the roller coaster that's going to be there, right? Like they've shown us almost nothing about the ride at.
But we don't even know what else is going to be in the area, because the theater is a big question mark still, and they haven't really talked about, like, we know it's going to be Harryhausen's, but they haven't really talked about that either. Whereas Piston Peak is I know it's mostly the ride, but they've kind of showed, like, I guess what the surrounding area is going to look like as well. So
yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, that makes sense.
But,
all right.
And also, I don't think Piston Peak is, like, it's not a full land the same way that that Monsters or Monstropolis
or that Villains will be.
Yeah,
it's more like a half land, and we literally know nothing. Like, all we have of Villains is one piece of concept art, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what rides are going to be there. We don't know nothing.
I've learned this over the years from, like, following, like, game development stuff, is, like, early concept art is, like, you're probably not going to see that in any shape or form in the final product. Like, it's
absolutely not.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very different. So
yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap it up.
All right. Okay. Because I know you have to get something out of your smoker here soon, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do. I got to get some ribs out. I'm going to smoke some ribs today. So yeah.
Yeah. We kind of talked about that at the beginning of our failed attempt at
our failed failed part one that we'll put out on Patreon.
But, you'll get to listen to us. It won't be, like, amazing or anything. It's just, like, the first. It's an alternate universe version of the start of this episode. So
until my computer crashed, yes,
exactly, yeah, yeah. So yeah, enjoy that on the Patreon. But, you know, for everybody else, if you have questions about the show, or you want to share your own trip reports, or just reach out to us, you can always find us by email at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com, or you can go through the website welcomehomepodcast.co, and you can hit contact us and reach out to us that way. You can also find us on social media. So we are on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. We're on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast. We're on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. As I mentioned earlier in the show, we have our group Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, where there is lots of conversations about stuff from the show, and people just sharing their own trip reports and calling me out for liking
inconsistencies,
liking named merch and not the obscure stuff. You know, I appreciate you, Becky.
Good job, Becky. Good job.
Yeah.
Nice work by you, Becky. Excellent work.
Yeah. So, come check us out there. If you would like to help support the show, you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.co and check out our different merch there. If there's something you'd like to see in the store, drop us a line. We can see about adding more stuff to the store. We have that ability. And then, as we mentioned, we have a Patreon. So you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod and check out our different levels of Patreon support, which our Patreon supporters get exclusive merch that you can only get through Patreon. Obviously, sometimes we will do little behind the scenes things that we'll put on Patreon, but then also you get access to the Discord server, which is yet another place that we have more conversations, like we do in Facebook, but it's more intimate conversations. Again, we do more behind the scenes stuff on Discord. Sometimes we also talk about random things there too, like camping, because that was a big conversation this week about or it was a continuation from the show of camping, but talking
about when I was a Boy Scout and we used to stay in lean-tos that were infested with daddy long legs, and I'd have to sleep under. I always had my head in my sleeping bag because I just assumed a daddy long leg would crawl into my mouth while I was sleeping. So
fun stuff.
Good times. Love camping so much.
Camping's awesome.
Love it. Great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but again, just random stuff like that. So if you want to come join us in the Discord, check out the Patreon. And last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or anywhere you can leave us a 5-star review, please do so. It just helps more people find the show. We like seeing new listeners. I do see new people joining the Facebook group all the time, and I think part of that is from people finding the show through recommendations. So like I said, leave us that 5-star review. It just it helps us out. And on iTunes, you can also write us a review and let us know what you think about the show, because we also like hearing what you guys think as we're doing this.
Yeah, and the other thing you could do, please write us a review, do that. But also subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Spotify, YouTube Music, any place that you find podcasts, you can find us. Just search for Welcome Home, and you can find 10 different podcasts called Welcome Home, but look for the one that's the Disney one. We're the only Welcome Home Disney. So look for that one. Huge thank you to the sponsor of this episode, DVC Rental Store, and of course, Keyholder Vacations for sponsoring the show. And just please check them out for all your Disney needs. In fact, when I just bought my tickets from Unlocked Magic, Trevor, they were the cheapest ones.
Nice.
I am a price comparer. I compared like 4 different sites, and they were the cheapest. So, and that's not me shelling for the sponsor. Honestly, they really were the cheapest. So, So they can sell you tickets, they can sell you DVC, they can sell your DVC for you. So any of those things. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a house when we had a chair, how she can cobble these snowman's affair. I look around for fold of hope, found her in her sugar bowl. Look out, here comes my